You know, there's something people don't like to talk about when it comes to success. We love talking about hard work. We love talking about discipline. We love talking about motivation. But one of the biggest factors that shapes your financial future is something much closer to you. The people around you, your social circle. And the truth is, many people don't realize that the very people they spend the most time with might be silently holding them back. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but through mindset, habits, and expectations. Think about this. Human beings naturally adapt to their environment. We start thinking like the people we spend time with. We adopt their habits, their beliefs, their attitude toward money and opportunity. If your circle constantly talks about growth, ideas, business, and opportunity, your mind starts operating at that level. But if your circle constantly talks about complaints, problems, and limitations, eventually you start seeing the world through that same lens. And slowly, without even realizing it, your vision becomes smaller. One of the biggest ways social circles sabotage financial success is through something called normalizing comfort. Imagine you're the only person in your group trying to start a business or invest money or build something bigger. At first, people might laugh. They might say things like, "Whoa, why are you doing all that? Just relax. Life is already fine." And those words may sound harmless, but over time, they create pressure to stay where you are. Because when you start growing, it sometimes makes other people uncomfortable. Your ambition reminds them of the risks they didn't take. So subconsciously, they try to bring you back to the level where everyone feels equal again. Another hidden problem is financial mindset. Some social circles see money as opportunity. Others see money as stress. If everyone around you believes that wealth is impossible, that success is only for lucky people, or that ambition is unrealistic, those beliefs slowly become part of your thinking. You start limiting yourself before you even try. But the moment you surround yourself with people who are building, creating, investing, and thinking bigger, your perspective changes. Suddenly, opportunities appear where you never saw them before. Now, this doesn't mean you need to abandon your friends. That's not the message. But it does mean you need to become aware of your environment. Ask yourself, do the people around me inspire growth? Do they challenge me to improve? Do they support bigger goals? Or do they constantly pull me back into comfort and limitation? Because the truth is, your future often looks a lot like the people you spend the most time with. Look at highly successful people, entrepreneurs, creators, leaders. One thing they all have in common is that they intentionally choose their environment. They seek out conversations that expand their thinking. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, not because they think they're better than others, but because they understand something powerful. Environment shapes destiny. If you want to grow financially, you need exposure to different ideas, different perspectives, different standards. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation with the right person to completely change how you see your future. But that only happens when you step outside of circles that keep repeating the same limited mindset. And here's the most important part. Growth is contagious. When you start surrounding yourself with people who believe bigger things are possible, your own confidence expands, your thinking becomes sharper, your standards become higher, and suddenly the goals that once seemed unrealistic start becoming achievable. So if there's one thing to take from this conversation, it's this: be intentional about your circle. Not because you're rejecting people, but because you're protecting your future. Because the people around you today are quietly shaping the person you become tomorrow. And if you truly want to build financial success, you must surround yourself with people who believe that success is possible and who are willing to chase it with you.